If we don't fight, we've already lost.
Yes, hello and welcome back to another EuroWerke Talking Parra Game Day podcast. And it is game day, the 5th of April. The Eels take on the Dragons at CommBank Stadium. I'll be your host today. Our illustrious host, Adam Martin, is in transit on his way down the freeway to the game as we speak. At the moment, joining us is Moe, a big Dragons fan. How are you going, mate?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. Looking forward to this big clash. We will have Mika join us very shortly. But in the meantime, whilst we wait for him, you're looking forward to this game, big game, the return of the King to CommBank Stadium, Zach Lomax taking on his old club as well. That's been probably the big talking points throughout the week, I guess.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous because we came off a good win, and that usually means a loss for the Dragons the next week. But obviously, Gutho, he's been a machine for us. Wow, better than I thought it'd be, to be honest. But yeah, Lomax obviously has a chip on his shoulder. Well, they both do, so they're both going to be trying to prove something out there today. And it's a gorgeous day outside. Great day for footy, Saturday footy.
Yeah, it is Saturday 3 p.m. It is going to be great conditions out there. Do you think the focus for Parramatta will be on Gutho, and is that a mistake if be?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know what they target, but he's probably been the X factor for us the last couple games. He's just everywhere all in the field. So if I was them, I'd probably try to aim for him. Just not just because he's an ex-Parra player, but he's just been like the heart and soul of our team. So much like emotion when he plays. I love it.
Yeah, we definitely saw that when he was at Parramatta, and last week at the end of the game when the Dragons defeated the Storm. They've got their winnings ways out of the way last week. Let's hope it's not this week as well. Who do you see in the Parramatta side as a bit of a threat towards the Dragons today?
Well, I think it is Lomax, just because he is a talented player. He's been playing well for you, but it's just I think he has obviously something to prove. I think all players do against their old team, so a bit nervous with that one, to be honest. He might actually be landing those flick passes today, so gotta watch out for that.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, last week he had a few passes go astray, but let's hope it's back on track this week.
Let's hope not.
Well, yeah, definitely. What sort of who else in the Parramatta side do you think will be dangerous threat other than Zach Lomax?
Ooh, I haven't watched too many of your games, but Dylan Brown's always great defensively. I don't know how well he's been doing too well attackingly recently, but obviously him, Car on the wings always got the speed. But yeah, I think those two are definitely the one to watch out for because Dylan Brown can always just turn on out of nowhere and just make something out of nothing, and that's always something to watch out for.
Yeah, no, it is. Look, something that I probably have thought about from the Dragons' perspective is the halves of both teams actually are probably a little bit inexperienced. I mean, you've got Kyle Flanagan, who's played over 100 games. He's the experienced one on the Dragons side. You've got Dylan Brown. He's the experienced one on the Parramatta side. But the two halfbacks, they have played a little amount of football, so the game can be probably pretty much won from either side from both of those.
Yeah. I think Dylan Brown's the most experienced one on the field, like out of the halves anyways at this point. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is. And as Parramatta fans, we're all waiting for him to get cracking. And now that contract is out of the way, to start performing and start taking this team to where it should be. Just looks like yes, he's here. Mika, welcome. It's too early for a podcast. Yes, it is our game day preview podcast, and it is a little bit earlier than normal. Welcome.
Thanks, mate. Sorry about the computer troubles.
That is all good. That is all good. Good to have a Parramatta person with me on this one. Now, we were just going through who you think might be the threat from the Dragons on the opposition side today.
Val Holmes. I think he'll carve our edges to pieces. Short and sweet. I had a look at the team list yesterday when all the change, you know how they got to put them back in 24 hours for the game or something. I had a look at it and I was going through it, and I just think Gutho's going to be playing his backside off to prove a point, and I just know how much class Val Holmes can have when he turns it on, and I just don't think our edges are quite adjusted to not up and in yet. Some of them seem to want to be up and in, some of them want to try and do the slide thing that we're working towards, and I just think Val Holmes will be able to exploit that.
Yeah, he certainly has been playing some good footy lately. We were just talking about the two players from each side that have swapped clubs throughout the year. Do you think it'll be a mistake from Parramatta to concentrate on Clint Gutherson?
Yeah. Do you reckon they will though? Like, I mean, a fullback out the back, even if you're a half and you're sort of in control a bit more, or a hooker or something, you can sort of concentrate on someone. But I reckon it's kind of hard to get at a fullback if that's where you're going to focus all your energy. You know, like I think other things come before the fullback's even in the play. So I think they would be wasting their time if they try and do that.
Now, speaking of Clint Gutherson, obviously the Talking Parra podcast have organised a 9th minute stand and applause for him for his 9 seasons at Parramatta. As we didn't get the chance to say goodbye to Gutho, as it all happened in the off season, how do you think the St George fans will react towards Zach Lomax? We all see when players change clubs that there is obviously a little bit of booing going on. What do you think will happen St George wise?
Is that for me?
Yeah, Moe, yeah.
I don't know. Me personally, like, I was a bit upset when I found out he was leaving, but he did do some great things for the club. He was not always the best and most consistent, but when he was there, it was great to watch, fun to watch. So it kind of comes down to the vibe on the day, I guess, or today. I personally, I wouldn't boo him if I saw him there, but I don't know how the Dragon Army out there is going to handle it, the Red V Army. He might get booed. I'm not too sure. I actually don't know.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see. I wouldn't be surprised, but.
And Mika, what are your thoughts about the Parramatta fans towards Gutho? Do you think they'll boo him at all?
No, I
don't. That he made?
I don't think they'll boo him at all. I think it was we've discussed it before. I think it was a pretty smooth decision by both the club and Gutho. So I don't like. It's not like the Dylan Brown situation where he turned his back on us purely for money. Like, the club didn't want Gutho there this season. Really, we didn't have anything for him. We definitely didn't want him there next year. The Dragons needed Gutho. They needed someone exactly like him, some leadership and someone who's going to do all the 100%ers. So it was a smooth decision that supported both the club and Gutho, so I don't really see any need to boo him. People will be sort of probably 50-50 on clapping him, but I just don't think he got the send-off he deserved at Combank, and for 30 seconds out of your life, if you want to clap him, like, you see all the stories about things he did for us, now you get to say thanks. If you don't want to, then don't, you know? Yeah.
That's right. I see that in the 9th minute there. For the Dragons, what do you think the key to success for them will be to win today? Moe?
He says, I think our defense, keeping it up for the whole 80 minutes, that usually when we do that, we are usually within the game to win. We're always slacking in that second half. And I think attacking your edges. If Al Holmes is on Lomax's side, I think he can rip him up, to be honest. So hopefully it's one of those days today.
Mika, what's the key to success for Parramatta to get the victory today?
I think this is going to be a bit of a sludge of a game. I don't think either team's got a lot of points in them with the halves that they've got and stuff. And I think the key for Parramatta is they've got to get their attack to click. Like, yeah, they've been defending a bit better, but I just think unless we score some points, then I think the Dragons have probably got more points in them because of Val Holmes on that edge, and Gutho will be no doubt playing 100% effort. So I think if our attack doesn't click, then I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game by any means, but I think that's what we've got to do today. Our attack's really, really, really got to click a bit today.
Yeah, certainly it probably won't be like last year, 44 points to 40, that's for sure.
No.
That was ridiculous, that game.
That was crazy.
Probably the game that probably cost the Dragons their semi-final chances, but
Wasn't fun.
certainly a high-scoring game, that's for sure. Where do you think Parramatta will attack the Dragons, Mika? Especially, where is their weakness, do you think?
Like, I don't know where we're going to attack them because I haven't really seen any consistent patterns in our attack thus far. I know that's got a lot to do with Moses not being there and Dylan Brown not standing up whatsoever, but I guess Lomax has been a centre point for us. Late in the game, we've been trying a lot of kicks for him. And we have been going that way a little bit when we're under the pump, like especially in the Bulldogs game, we went his way a bit. So if I had to have a bet, I'd say we'll probably go to his side and try and go that way.
Who do you think in the Parramatta team needs to step it up and take this game by the balls, so to speak?
Dylan Brown. Like, you know, if he's playing to his potential every week, I don't think Parramatta are quite in the position that they're in right now. Like, if Dylan Brown stands up and beats a $1.3 million half today at Combank, I think we win. But I don't think he will. So,
And Moe, who for the Dragons is that key player to get that Dragon success today?
I think it's going to be Gutho, to be honest. The last couple of games has been everywhere. Everywhere on attack. He's just always there giving off those off. I think he has like 7 assists or 8 maybe. He's been killing it for us. And I think he's going to play with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, and he's consistent. And I think he's going to be at his 100% this game.
Yeah, probably. Jaden Sewer, he had a big game last week. He'll be pumped for a big game this week as well. Our back rowers, Mika, what's the story with them? What do you think they need to do? Do they need to have more runs? Obviously, they're in there for a bit of a defensive plan.
yeah, and I guess like with Sean, I know our defence has been a bit better since he's come back. All well and good, but we can't see them hanging out on the wings with their hands on their hips. We've got to see them start helping out a bit more. When they're hitting the line, actually wanting to run through the line, like hit it with a bit of venom. That'd be good to see. I just like, our backs are doing a lot of work, and we need those second rows in there helping them out a bit. So
Yeah, that's for sure. It'd be great to see them having a bit of strike out in those edges, get back to that 2022 form for Sean Lane. Katoga's a pretty new boy on the block, but getting a little bit better each and every week. But look, time for some predictions, and we'll start with you, Mika. Who give us a score prediction, a first try scorer, and if you've got one, a bold prediction.
So I'll just go what I did the other night, I think I went, I can't even remember what I did. I think I did first try scorer of Al Holmes. I think my score was something about 16-8 or something like that to Dragons. And bold prediction, I think I said Gutho to get a double.
Surely we've got to break the duck egg today, Mika. Surely. Today is the day.
I can't tip him. I cannot tip him. I can't do it. I'm just being realistic. I'm not saying that I don't think we're doing the right thing. Like, we are absolutely going down the right path as a club. The last time we did a rebuild, we did it half-assed. We are absolutely going down the right path, but at this stage yet, I can't tip him. I said before the season started that it'd be 3 to 4 months before we started seeing things change. That was before we lost Moses and whatnot. And before Dylan Brown decided that he wasn't a footballer for Parramatta anymore. Going off current form, I can't tip him today, even today.
Well, hopefully we do get the win, then we'll be on the same as the Panthers. Oh, look out. Adam's in and out there. He wants to say something against you, I think, there, Mika. But I think if Parramatta win today... there we go.
To actually be able to control things. And I realise if I'm not here, you can't actually end the show. So no one has the access to end the show. So he's will be on for about 3 hours if I'm not here. So I've come on to that. I'm disappearing backstage because I keep losing reception.
Right.
So unprofessional.
He's gone again. But yeah, we'll be on the same wins and losses as the Panthers. Moe, have you got a score prediction, a first try scorer, and also a bold prediction if you've got one?
I'm a bit nervous because I don't think we haven't beaten you in years. I think, especially at Combank. I can't remember the last time we did, but I gotta support the boys. 13+. No, I don't think it's I don't think it's a high scoring game. I was thinking about 14 to 18 Dragons away. I think you'll get some points on us. I feel like we'll slack in the second half like usual. First try scorer, I was gonna give it to Sloan. I think Sloan on the wing might just sneak in there, pass from Gutho, and a bold prediction. Ooh, a bold prediction. I reckon Lomax gets a chip and chase in.
Oh, I'd like to see a chip and chase.
As much as I don't want to see it against us.
Will it lead to a try, though?
It'd be nice to see, though. Because
he tried one, what was it, last week or the week before? Yeah. Right on half time.
Yeah.
So the idea was
almost
there.
Came off.
Yeah. Nah, love to bring a chip and chase back to the game. I went for 22-16. I think it'll be about that score, only a 1-12. And I think I went Will Penasini as first try scorer. I always usually stick with Will. And a bold prediction, I can't even remember what my bold prediction was from the other night, to be honest. I can't even remember. But I will say something like...
A couple of sin bins or something?
Well, yeah, maybe Gutho might get sin binned. There you go. There's a
thing. I think there'll be a few sin bins.
Well, that's true. That's something that's going to be on the players' minds, I guess. We've already seen it over the last few games, and has it been dead set? A couple of those have been a bit of a rort, those high bin sin bin tackles. But let's hope we don't see too many of those today. But Adam's just chimed in. There he is. Gutho sin bin in the 9th minute to a standing ovation. That's right. Don't forget, 9th minute, stand up and applaud for Gutho for his service to Parra, something that the Talking Parra podcast is putting on. He didn't get the send-off that he deserved from Parra as he left in the off-season, but we'll be doing that, so stay tuned for that one in the 9th minute. But I like that one, sin bin in the 9th minute to a standing ovation. Yeah. Well, I think we've probably just pretty much sort of winged it and covered most things there, I guess. Moe, thank you very much for joining us. Will you be heading out to the game today?
I can't make it, unfortunately. I wanted to, but too much on today to be able to make a 3 o'clock game. It's a terrible time, but yeah, can't make it.
How big do you think the Dragons army will turn up? Do you reckon they'll turn up today?
Oh, they will turn up. They always turn up, but especially at Combank, that's one of my favorite stadiums. Probably my favorite stadium to go to. The atmosphere is amazing there, so it'll be a great atmosphere there, I feel.
That's for sure. Thank you very much for joining us today, Mika. Are you heading to the game today?
Nah, mate, I've got to work tonight, so the next game I get to will be, I don't know, probably a few weeks away. I seem to be working for a lot of them this year, which is a bit shit, but yeah, I'll be watching it before I leave for work.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good. I'll be there for sure, definitely. Just probably leave just after this anyway. I don't know how we're going to end this show, to be honest. I think maybe we just keep on. Maybe we
final Dragons. That's
I reckon if Simonson had came in for Russell, I probably almost would have swayed me tip. I think Russell's really been struggling with the change in system. So I think that might have maybe got me over the line to tip Parramatta if that was the change. Where I just think while he's there getting stuck in no man's land, that's where I think that, we'll get caught.
How far away do you think Simonson will be? He's played a couple of New South Wales Cup games. Do you think it's just a matter of fitness?
I
can't end with yourself often.
He's got to be close.
Oh, what happened there?
Okay. Well, how about I think he is. I think we've got the wind-up call there from the producer. So thank you very much.
Sorry about the quality this week. I'll get into Adam and say, pull your head in, mate, and fucking be better. Ridiculous.
That's it. Maybe the end of the day, maybe the day before or something like that. But we'll end it now. So, Mr. Producer, thank you very much for joining us, everyone. Thanks, Moe.
Best of luck today, boys.
He was the most quality of the show. He was good.
Yeah. Yeah, not us two.
No.